Good morning and welcome to World Cup Daily from Stoppage Time News. Everything you missed overnight in one sitting. Coming up, England are held to a goalless draw by a stubborn Ghana, and the Ghana camp says the video assistant referee went for a coffee. Colombia booked their place in the last 32. And Croatia knocked Panama out on a landmark night for Luka Modric. It's Wednesday the 24th of June. Let's get into it. Arthur here with everything that happened overnight as two more groups reached their conclusion. We begin in Boston, where England were held to a 0-0 draw by Ghana. Thomas Tuchel made two changes to his back four, but his side struggled to break down a resolute Ghana, and England had to ride out a late scare when Declan Rice was spotted limping. More on that game in a moment. To Toronto, where Croatia revived their campaign. Ante Budimir came off the bench to score the only goal as the 2018 finalists won 1-0 Panama are knocked out, while Croatia stay in the hunt on what The Guardian called a landmark day for Luka Modric. Then to Group K, and Colombia are through. Daniel Munoz's deflected second-half strike settled a 1-0 win over DR Congo, whose goalkeeper Lionel Menpasi had produced a string of fine saves Colombia march into the last 32. And there was a rout in the same group. Portugal thumped Uzbekistan 5-0, Cristiano Ronaldo scoring twice and Nuno Mendes adding a brilliant third to send Portugal into the knockouts. The BBC, Sky Sports, The Guardian and the Daily Mail all carry the overnight action. Two groups settled, two more nations out, and the shape of that new round of 32 coming sharply into focus. Now to our story of the day, and it is that goalless draw. In Boston, England's 0-0 with Ghana was, by common consent, a frustrating watch, and it came wrapped in controversy. Ghana's manager Carlos Queiroz joked that the video assistant referee must have gone for a coffee, claiming his side were denied a penalty and that England should have had a player sent off. The flashpoint came when Esri Konsa challenged Ghana's Prince Adu. The BBC asked whether it should have been a spot kick, while Metro and talkSPORT argued Ghana had a strong case. There was needle elsewhere too, with Thomas Tuchel forced to defend Jude Bellingham after a heated exchange with Queiroz on the touchline. Tuchel, for his part, credited Ghana's committed defending and admitted his team found it difficult to create. The BBC's Phil McNulty summed up the mood: no need for England to panic, but a reality check all the same. A reminder perhaps that at a World Cup, the second game is rarely the easy one, and that England still have work to do to top their group. Kate, what's moving on the wire?
Thanks, Arthur. Plenty moving on the wire this morning, and the usual reminder before we start. These are reports and rumors doing the rounds, not done deals. We begin at Chelsea, where the BBC say the club are closing in on the Atalanta defender Marco Palestra for a fee said to be in excess of £43 million in what is billed as the first signing of the Alonso era. Across London, football. London and the Mirror report that Real Madrid are plotting a £45 million move for Arsenal's Gabriel Martinelli, a twist that would test Mikel Arteta's resolve. The BBC's Wednesday gossip column adds that Manchester United and Arsenal are both tracking the midfielder Alex Scott, with the Gunners also said to be in contact with Leicester over the teenager Jeremy Manga, and Aston Villa keen on West Ham's Jared Bowen. At Tottenham, football. London reckons Spurs believe they hold 3 advantages over Manchester United in the race for West Ham's Mateus Fernandes. And the saga that will not quietly go away, the Mirror say, the Julian Alvarez row between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona has turned ugly. Nothing is signed and nothing is sealed, but the window is open and the noise is only getting louder. Quick hits before we move on. First, a poignant one. The BBC, the Daily Mail, and the Standard report that France head coach Didier Deschamps will miss his side's final group game against Norway on Friday, following the death of his mother, with the French Federation confirming he has returned home. Our thoughts are with him. Staying with the tournament, the BBC report that FIFA have stripped a commentator of his World Cup credentials after an expletive-laden, on-air rant against the organization and match officials during Paraguay's win over Turkey. On security, U.S. authorities say they have now seized more than 300 unauthorized drones at World Cup sites as the operation around these finals keeps growing. In the market, the BBC say Real Madrid have signed the 19-year-old forward Felicia Schroeder from Hacken in what is being called the most expensive transfer in the history of women's football. And there is a new man in the dugout. Gary O'Neill has been appointed Ipswich town manager. The BBC, Sky, and The Independent report as the club prepare for their return to the Premier League. Back to you, Arthur.
So what's next? The marquee fixture today takes us to Miami, where Scotland face Brazil with a place in the knockout rounds on the line. Steve Clarke's side are chasing history, and with Storm's forecast, the BBC reports Scotland even have a coping strategy for any weather delays. For Carlo Ancelotti, it's another step in Brazil's long quest to end a 24-year wait for World Cup glory. It is one of 6 group games across the next 24 hours as the final round rolls on. And looking ahead to Friday, France meet Norway to settle the top of their group, a game Didier Deschamps will watch from afar. That is your morning briefing. We will have shorts through the day, and we are back here tomorrow. Stoppage time news before the final whistle.